All right, everyone. So today was incredibly boring. This is the watch this video for Tuesday, February 25th. Third red day in a row on the SPY. I didn't expect a big day one way or the other. Usually when you have kind of a high relative, a high big range day, the next day is rarely a big day, right? Let me slide this over real quick and then I'll talk about today. If you're new in chat, please pause the video and read that. It's a good description. The short version is we make our money between the bells. Between the opening and closing bell, intraday trades only, but we start with a list of daily, interesting daily charts that could give us a nice intraday move. Hope that makes sense. I did want to talk about a couple things real quick. DKNG, before I go into the watches, I'm going to show you some 30-minute setups. DKNG, this is the opening candle. I talk about this all the time. When we have something on Bounce Watch, okay? So the daily was already down this many days in a row coming into today. This is today's candle. I always tell you guys to look for a sell-off and a 30-minute buy setup. In the case of DKNG, and I mentioned them all this morning, right, to watch them on 30s, this would have been 44.66 as this candle broke this candle's high. I mean, not huge, but it would have been a decent trade. Let's just go over a few of them. Oh, I don't have them in front of me now. Okay, Akamai, AKAM, kind of got to zoom in here. This is the opening candle. So the entry would have been over the high of this candle, 77.91, right? Because you got stair steps down. The first break of a previous candle's high, 77.91. Not huge, but it went to 79.68, right? That's nothing to sneeze at. And that's why I always try to remind people to watch these 60-minute setups, or 30-minute setups, I'm sorry, HOOD. You had that big sell-off, and then today started down again. What happened? 1, 2, 3 candles lower. The high of this candle, I'm hovering over 49.26, so 49.27 would have been the entry. Not huge, but it went to almost what? It went over 51. So almost a couple bucks there. I like the thesis behind this, right? Because you're already down a whole bunch of days in a row, and it's trying to catch an intraday turn, right? And the 30-minute candles are the ones I have found that generally work the best on those. I think I went over DKNG already. Anyway, so when we have bounce plays on watch, let's never forget to look for those, all right? There were some good trades today. I call them intraday swing trades because they're slow and boring. But when they work, a lot of times you can get a decent little trade. All right, anyway, let me go into the watch list for tomorrow. ATCH, I am going to pull off the list. I started making this list. By the way, the market's still open for another 10 minutes. I started making this list about 10, 15, 20 minutes ago, and this was higher at the time. Too close to the low of day now. A lot of people underwater. So let's start with CELH. I like the gap up, and you got a couple red days, but today was inside of yesterday's high. I like this for a potential bounce play setup. Bounce play sounds a little weird, right? Because it's not a typical bounce play look, but it's a gap up and then a lower high. We'll treat it like a bounce play, see if we get a good setup. DBRG just kind of flagging there after that big pop on, that would have been what, Thursday? WBA, nice volume today, up near recent highs, so that one's worth a look, especially in today's boring market. Wait, JTAI. We got another red day, so we got this big pop and then 3 days lower on declining volume. I'm still going to treat this like a potential bounce play if we get a setup. APPS, another red day. Probably gave a decent 30s today. HOOD, back on bounce watch. See the bottoming tail from that 30 setup today. DKNG, back on bounce watch. GRRR, a little bit different look on the bounce play, but it's a really strong stock. And then you had this kind of shooting star topping tail and then another red day. But you are down kind of in the middle of the 8 and the 20 day. Also kind of retesting this breakout line, right? So I am putting that on bounce watch. I wouldn't mind seeing another red day, but that one goes on bounce watch. Deck was pointing out to me in chat today. I was watching this a while back and kind of forgot about it. Let's go to the 1 year daily. And this thing's just off a cliff, just straight down. But back here, had some really nice bounces off this area, here and here. And we're getting there, right? So I do like this as a potential bounce play. A few more. SMCI, really strong stock. You got a couple days lower on declining volume. They treat that like a bounce play. PLTR, one of the biggest, most popular names out there and was just 125 bucks, and now you're almost straight down below 90. This one is getting super interesting for a bounce tomorrow. Again, we only trade these with a proper intraday setup, but let's work together, not miss one, right? And then lastly, OKLO, one of those baby nukes for supposed to be used for power, or in theory for data centers. This one's just straight down like 5 or 6 days in a row. Potential bounce play. That's it for me. I will see you guys in chat in the pre-market, and we'll build a list of gappers too. Have a good night.